reaching some significant milestones after CNOOC Uganda Limited and its joint venture partners signed the final investment decision. Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired and compensation was fully made. Cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed over to the project-affected persons. Construction commenced for different aspects of the project, leading to the development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central processing facility, and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs and installation. Spudding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling outcomes, with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent camp, solar turbine transportation, EPC 3-tank erection work, and EPC 4 pipeline trenching. CNOOC will actively promote the LPG integration plan, which will gradually achieve the strategic transformation towards a green and low-carbon energy supplier. A camp integrated hydropower project has been set up, which will result in carbon dioxide emission reduction by 3,156 tons. CNOOC has continued to contribute to the Belt and Road, people-to-people exchanges, enhancing China-Africa friendship and promoting the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. CNOOC collaborates with various Ugandan universities to enhance graduate employment curriculum design and research. We have signed agreements with several institutions to support scientific research and develop talents in the oil and gas sector. CNOOC, in collaboration with 5 other Chinese companies on the Kingfisher project, spearheaded a drive that led to the donation of $500,000 to upgrade the infrastructure of the Entebbe Welfare School. This is the largest donation to education in Uganda.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sport, I would like to extend my gratitude to CNOOC Uganda Limited and the contractors of Kingfisher Oil Fields for your commitment to the cause of vulnerable and challenged children.
CNOOC sponsors international scholarships, sending Ugandan students to study in China. Under this program, a total of 11 students have been sponsored and 8 have since currently working in the oil and gas industry.
This scholarship to me is a dream come true. I always wanted to receive a first-class education from a good school, and CNOOC has provided me with this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
CNOOC focuses on training and certification programs for skills needed in the oil and gas industry, which promotes local employment and strengthens Uganda's logistics and industrial capacity. Over 150 contractors and more than 3,000 individuals have been trained in various oil and gas skills. The company collaborates with local vocational schools to provide welder training, significantly contributing to Uganda's professional welding sector.
They took the initiative to sponsor us who are underdogs, and they want to put us somewhere. We thank them a lot. There's nothing much you can give them, but maybe use the skills properly so that they can also feel they have done some impact in the Uganda we have now.
CNOOC Youth Employment Support Program has trained over 350 local youths in various vocational skills, improving their employability and living conditions. These trainings cover welding, heavy truck driving, heavy machinery operation, engineering construction, and other skills needed in the oil and gas field development, as well as driving, tailoring, and hairdressing, among others. CNOOC invests in projects to improve community living standards, such as providing clean drinking water to over 13,000 residents in Buhuka flats, carrying out medical camps and building resettlement houses with modern amenities for 56 households. We have also invested $620,000 in maintaining critical roads and enhancing public safety. Livelihood restoration programs include donating livestock and teaching scientific breeding methods. We also work closely with the Confucius Institute of Makerere University, supporting events like the Chinese Bridge Competition and the Sound in My Heart Chinese Song Competition. CNOOC also organizes activities to celebrate Chinese culture, such as the Spring Festival. These efforts enrich cultural communication and foster mutual understanding between China and Uganda.
CNOOC Uganda Limited is committed to education and capacity building to fulfill its vision of energy for Uganda.
Welcome once again to the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Program. Good morning. Hope everyone is okay out there. It's yet another day for us to learn. Remember, it's Tuesday, and we are already here to take you through another topic for you to learn. All the SMEs out there, I hope you guys have been watching us. You have been listening to us. You have been following on both YouTube and Twitter. For those that are on Twitter, we are live on Vectra Energies on Twitter, and for our YouTube channel, you can still follow us there, view, watch, comment, and send us any questions. Like the other past days where we have been learning quite a lot. We have learned about taxation, we've learned about procurement, we have learned about business strategy, we have learned quite about a lot of things. And here today we have yet another good topic for you to learn. And in our studio today we have someone, an expert, who will be taking us through a very interesting topic. Mr. Magezi Chirinju is here with us, and he will be taking us through what they call organizational development. So Magezi will be taking us through organizational development, strategy. How are you supposed to have a better organization? How are you supposed to organize your SME? What strategies are you supposed to use for you to have a very nice SME that will do business, that will work and make sure everything is organized? You know, for you to be successful, to have a successful organization, you must have strategy. And you must have good people. You must have rules. You must have those laws that govern you. So those are some of the things that we'll be learning from our guest today. So I welcome you, Mr. Magezi Chirinju. Welcome to the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Program. This program has been happening since last week. CNOOC has sponsored this so that its people out there in the oil and gas sector can have something to learn. So we welcome you, Mr. Magezi Chirinju. You are welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Michael. I'm happy to be here this morning. I welcome our listeners, our viewers, especially our listeners. So that's the most important, because you can view without listening. So our listeners, you're welcome to this morning's lesson. We shall be discussing improving our organizational planning. We shall be discussing improving our analysis of our organizations, our businesses. We shall be discussing how our small and medium enterprise can be well organized and make you some money. So the whole topic is improving business planning, analysis, and organizational development of SMEs in Uganda. Under this topic, we shall discuss around 5 things. Number one will be the challenges our SMEs face in Uganda especially. Number 2, we shall discuss the importance of effective business planning and in our SMEs. Number 3, we shall analyze the current landscape in Uganda, how our SMEs, the competition, the other surrounding effects of our organization, the businesses, the products, the laws. Number 4, we shall look at the factors affecting organizational development in our SMEs. And how we can, move forward, how we can strengthen them, how we can make profit. We shall also look at some of the recommendations that we can apply to enhance the development and the strengthening of our SMEs. So sit properly, listen in, let's look at how to make our SMEs viable companies, viable organizations. Let's start with the challenges our SMEs face, especially in our environment, Uganda. Uganda, is a developing country. We still have a lot of challenges, both in terms of laws, plus businesses, plus even our surrounding region, the East African community. All of us are still developing. So as a small business, the challenges can be very many. Let us start with the access to finance. Access to finance is any business's dream team. The only thing you can dream about is how do I get financing for my business. There are few who are lucky who may have their money, but otherwise any other business would want not just financing but affordable financing. Now here one of the challenges we have is limited funding options. SMEs in Uganda normally, I am an example, I have owned some small businesses myself. But when you go to the bank, because the bank is the cheapest in Uganda thus far, and the most organized, unfortunately, the interest rates are so high. They're still high actually, because we have tried to speak to government, but they tell you the challenge is that it's a risky business to lend money, so you put an high interest such that in case of anything, maybe you would have recouped something. So it's a big challenge for SMEs because we can't get affordable funding. Then even where you have, even where you manage to get money, like I said, the interests are so high. So you are always disadvantaged all the time. Now, even where you have decided that, okay, I'm going to agree to the interest, the requirements, they ask you collateral or what we call in here in our language, local language, umusingu. What you put there such that the bank gives you money. They want land. That land may land or a house or a vehicle that may even be equal to the amount of money you need. So you ask yourself, if I want 100 million and then you want me to give you collateral of 200 million, I mean you're not helping me. So the challenges of financing for our SMEs are still very, very tough, are still very, very hard. So that's a very, very big challenge for small and medium enterprises in Uganda. Then we also have infrastructure constraints. If you are in the transport business and you say you transport things from Kampala, say to Juba, mostly, at least the roads are now being made internally in Uganda. The roads are not that bad from border to border. But if you are taking say Congo, you would have a very, very big challenge. You have a big challenge. Your truck can last the journey, which is essentially of 2 weeks. You end up spending there a month because either it has rained and you are stuck there. But even internally, if you branch off, for example, if you were a maize transporter, if you branch off the main tarmac road and go inside the countryside to pick the merchandise, the roads are still, government has tried to, cut them and, make them motorable. But when you are loaded and you have a substantial amount of tons on your truck, you're going to have a lot of problems driving that truck from where you picked your products back to a better road. So we still have that problem. And let me even give an example here, say in Kampala here. Our industrial area has not been good. So you can imagine if you have a garage in an industrial area and you have as a small business, you have your clients who repair cars with you, and the Magezi has a car that has an issue. You can imagine by the time I reach your garage in industrial area, probably I've broken another part of the vehicle. So you find that people, as a small owner of the business, you are constrained by the infrastructure surrounding you, and it is denying you customers. So that becomes also a big challenge. Then we also have electricity power issues. Yes, in Kampala or in major towns, power is available. You can even help yourself. You have a generator, standby generator, in case it goes. But if you're operating a small business up country, you can have serious issues. you have, say, a grain milling company, or like people in northern Uganda who add value to groundnuts. They, of course, they use a machine to pound them and make make that paste. If electricity goes, you struggle to continue working that day. So we still have a problem of power as part of our as SME, as part of our problems as SMEs. Then we also have as part of infrastructure constraints, we still have communication issues. The government has tried, that's for sure. I was in Hoima the other day. Government was setting up cables, underground cables, that people have constant internet, they have instant connections, but it's still not yet strong. It's not yet effective. So if you're operating up country, you have issues of communication. I don't know that it's even possible to have, say, a big storage like a data storage in say Soro now, that you put a server there. It's a bit difficult because it may not get enough connection for you to keep your data there. So we still have that problem of the communication systems are not yet very strong. Yes, we thank government it's trying, but as small businesses, if you're operating out of major towns, out of Jinja, out of Kampala, out of Mbarara, out of Masaka, you are going to have challenges with the communication systems. Then we are done with that was part of the infrastructure constraints. So we have market competition. When you come to market competition, and this one is what kills us most. As SMEs, you can't survive without a market. So you find if you are a startup, SME, you can. One of the challenges you are going to face is finding dominant farms which are already established. Like if you came to Uganda to start, for example, a soft drink company, you are going to have to contend with the Coca-Cola, you are going to contend with Pepsi, you are going to contend with there's another one which is in Kawempe here, something international, I forget its name. So you're going to find them established, and you're going to really struggle to make your name in this small market of ours. So dominant brands are going to be a challenge to you, and you must really be very, very ready to face the challenge, such that you can carve out your own market in this small market. Then also we have limited marketing resources as small companies. When you're a small company, you have, of course, your budget. You have, especially we normally budget for products, how to process. You buy the raw materials, you process, but most of the time we don't think about how to take our products out there to be marketed. And if you don't market, even if you have the best product, no one knows you are there. So we must learn how to have a budget. You would rather reduce on the raw materials you are buying. You'd rather reduce on the product you are producing, but at least remain with the budget to market even the retro you have already made. Because if you don't do that, then you want to break even, you want to move forward. Another challenge we face is difficult in the product differentiation. Okay, you have managed to produce a product. Good, thank you very much. But what is the difference between your product and what you found there? What is the difference? How do I know this is now the Magezi's product? Someone was giving me an example. If you go to a supermarket and all the branding is white boxes, what are you going to buy? Because everything looks the same. So you must have that. You must make sure your product is completely different. You differentiate it from the existing ones, because that is how you're going to attract your customers. Make your product stand out from the crowd. You know, it is a proverb in Navajo that a palm tree cannot get lost in a swamp. So you must make sure your palm tree stands out of the swamp. Otherwise, people may mistake your product to be part of the swamp. So that is a challenge. We have got to agree. Then that secondly, now the other part we are going to look at as part of the challenges of our SMEs is the importance of effective business planning in our organizations. The planning is very, very important in our business lives. If you don't plan, you don't move forward. So let's look at how effectively you can plan for whatever business you are doing. Planning, of course, enhances business growth. So let's just look at market analysis and strategic planning. In anything you do as a business person, market analysis is very, very important. I just mentioned it earlier that when you reach a market, whom have you found there? The ones you have found there, how are they performing? What product do they have? If you are producing the same product like them, how are you going to improve on your product? If they could have been processing, say, banana juice up to some level, for you can do the process as well, but add something, add the flavor, you know. So you have to do your analysis very well. You conduct thorough market analysis. You do strategic planning. You identify the growth opportunities. You develop effective strategies that you can capitalize on them. So the market is there, the information is there. Gather the data. Have some little money aside, such that it helps you move. If you don't have, elementary, you can even use the crude methods. You send people there, send staff there. What does the Johnson produce? How does he package? You know, people minimize packaging. Packaging, it is just wrapping things. I may wrap the same product as you, but wrap it better. Somebody just comes to buy my product simply because of how I wrapped it, not because the bread is better than yours, but just because I gave it a better wrapping system. Then two, another challenge we get is financial forecasting. Financial forecasting and resource allocation. One of the challenges we tend to face is the failure to look forward, especially with our finances. You get all the money, you invest it without saying, let me leave some money in case of the things that may come and program. So let us have effective business planning so that it enables our SMEs forecast our financial needs. Because sometimes you may be planning that, you see, I know fuel from here to say Mbale, if I'm delivering, is this amount. And you know it has been like that for a month or say 3 months. So, and you don't plan for, in any case. Then there is a problem, say in Kenya, and then fuel goes up. Do you see how you fail to deliver your product? Simply because you didn't forecast anything, you didn't forecast any unprogrammed financial needs. So always have that at the back of your mind, that anything can happen. Let me save some money. Let me have some money for emergencies, such that you are not disrupted. Your business process is not disrupted. Your growth is not disrupted. Your profitability is not disrupted. Then also have a risk management and mitigation plan. Risk management means as a business, you expect risks. You expect machines to break down. You expect the staff to go. Always have an emergency plan in your books, that in case of machines breaking down, what do I do? My supply of spare parts is aware. You may even have some small money deposited with your spare part supply. You may have some money deposited with your fuel supply. You may have money deposited with your raw material supply. So always have a risk management plan such that because when you have the plan in place, then the mitigation part just brings itself. Because if you do a risk assessment, then that risk assessment gives you normally the mitigation steps that you should take to circumvent the problem. Next, let's look at facilitating another problem we normally face, facilitating operational efficiency. Under here, we shall look at streamlining the processes and workflows. In all businesses, especially businesses that do manufacturing or add value, even supply logistics, you definitely have processes moving on. It's a chain of processes. So you must have a business planning. By planning, it helps you as an SME to streamline these processes, to know I get my raw materials from Kabare. So the process from Kabare to say where I am manufacturing from in Barara, it takes how long if the truck is carrying this amount of tons. That is looking at the processes. You must look at other, of course you have a workforce. Your workforce is your engineer or is there, or you need a second engineer on standby, so that you don't wake up one morning and your engineer is sick and you cannot move. So for you to make sure your work flows non-stop, you must streamline your processes such that you improve operation efficiency and productivity. Short of that, you're going to have stoppages, and you have already told your clients, I'm delivering tomorrow, your engineer is sick, and you are stuck. What are you going to do? You get it. So you make sure you streamline your processes such that your operational efficiency improves. Then the second is make sure you optimize your resources and then control costs. So we have the resource optimization and cost controls. Now, here, for you to avoid wasting money, make sure that you have enough work. Don't bring 10 workers to a section of the operations where you need 5. That means you're going to pay an extra 5 people for virtually nothing. Don't bring 20 kilos to process, yet the machine can only process 4. You're going to end up, spoiling the machine. So make sure you optimize your resources, and then it helps you to control your costs. Otherwise, you would end up having spending more on yet producing exactly the same, because your capacity ends there, yet you have more than enough workers. So always plan your resource utilization and implement cost control measures such that you optimize your operational and your operations, and then you enhance your efficiency. Also, performance monitoring and improvement. For you to have for you to produce well, to be profitable, you need to make sure you monitor what you are doing. Because if you don't monitor, then you cannot improve. The only way you can improve what you are doing is by monitoring it. But if you don't know what is going on, you definitely cannot improve it. So make sure all the operations, and many times we think, that one, I know how it works. No. Make sure every morning. One of the reasons these Bazungu do a better job than us in these things, and even by for them, it's not that I know now. No. Every morning you appear to be not knowing. So you repeat the process every time you go to work. Don't say, that one I know, I want to check there. No. It is every day comes with these challenges. The machine could have been losing its grip slowly, so it's a few minutes away from breaking. But because you check, you see the fault, you realize, oh, there's very little time before this machine breaks down. Because you are monitoring, you get it, because you are checking. Now, there you avoid cases of where, by even monitoring may not even be inside on it. It could also be monitoring your own clients. Are you hearing from them? Because one client could be one decision away from signing you out and they look for another supply. But because you are monitoring, because you are checking, you didn't hear the comments. No, these things of yours, your sorghum is nice, comes with stones, and so like now, but we are doing a lot of winnowing and checking. Why? Where did this pass? So it is very, very, very important. Someone was telling me that these guys who produce powdered milk, when it is totally powder and it's going to parking area, there is a magnet that is passing on top of that flour, that in case of any method any nail that could have gone through any processes is picked out. That is basically monitoring, but of course this one mechanically. So you get it. Because if your client finds a stone in that milk, you are gone. You are repairing that relationship can be very, very, very difficult. So monitoring is very, very important because it gives you a chance to improve your performance. Then let's look at fostering resilience and adaptability. Resilience is basically ability to stay in there, to hang in there and compete. That's what the resilience in business is all about. Can you go in and compete and stay there? Then adaptability is basically, can you change accordingly? So let's look at how you can foster resilience and then adapt in a business environment as an SME. Now, SMEs can use business planning, engage in scenario planning. One of the ways of adapting or adopting resilience is you can do what they call scenario planning. Something has not yet happened, but you simulate it. You as an organization, you simulate it. You say, what if this happens? How can we not be thrown out of business? How do we survive in this happen? Because when you do that, it also shows you your loopholes. But you realize if this happened, we shall not have this amount of money to deal with it. Oh, okay, that's number one. We shall not have this chemical to put in our preservatives. We shall not have this kind of engineer to help us. So simulating a situation gives you a likely scenario, and that helps you to plan ahead, to adapt, and then stay in there. Then number two, innovate and diversify. Innovation also comes from the other scenario in simulation helps you to innovate, because if you do a scenario simulation and it gives you some of the things you lack or some of the things you don't have, that means you start thinking, if you can't innovate most of the time, because maybe you don't have the financial muscle to do it, then it also gives you enough time to diversify. Okay, I can branch here since I cannot manage finance and innovation to keep me in business. Then what you do, you diversify. You look for other ways of keeping in the business. If you were planning on packed juice, you can have instant. Like, packed juice I may not handle, but let me have my clientele who know that I make juice and deliver immediately. So you end up with instant customers instead of supermarket arrangement where you can preserve. And so innovation helps you in to strategize, to adapt changing markets and maintain the resilience. So Innovation, especially today, in today's world, in today's business, is very, very, very important. So that one, if you're a small business, you must find a way of, normally when people hear innovation, we think of phones and the planes and vehicles. Innovation can be as simple as I said, as packaging or a marketing strategy. So to innovate is to do things better than you are doing them. So if you were using stones for grinding, by bringing my hand machine, that's an innovation. Don't think of innovation as some grand word that how can I innovate? I need I need to be in Silicon Valley. No, you can innovate from Owino, you can innovate from Senyi, you can innovate because if you go to some of these local garages of ours, some of these machines they are no longer importing them from Japan because they have learned how to manipulate them and make them work. I normally pass by and they were there. These guys get worn out tires and remake them. That's an innovation. You get it? And they are not using the, laser beams and what. No, they are just using, elementary machines. So that's an innovation. Then number 3, be able to be agile, be soft and responsive to decision making. Business planning also empowers SMEs to cultivate agility and respond to decisions. Somebody may suggest something and you're like, that one can't work. Is the staff, is the one who has been in the field, is your staff. He goes out and says, but boss, I think maybe you change here, change there, such that, because I faced this. You're like, but when I was starting the business, were you there? Yet the person has seen a problem. So as an SME, be responsive to suggestions. And you may not take a decision immediately, but also you can subject some of those things to tests. And say, okay, get a sample of the product and test it in a market segment and see how it works out, such that you don't throw away a good idea. I remember somebody was, I think, was telling me that they were asking Bill Gates why he keeps hiring people who are fired from other companies. And it was like they come when they have they made the mistake the other side, they can't repeat it here. So when they arrive, I know that problem is solved. They can commit a new one, but not the old one. So always have, when you get suggestions, please be responsive, accept them and subject them to tests and see how they come out. That helps you to know, it helps you to evolve in a business environment. Then number 3, we are going to look at analyzing the current business landscape in Uganda. That's our number 3. Now, this is very, very important. Your environment in which you are operating. Even I think the best example I can give in this landscape thing is in the military arrangement. Soldiers, you cannot send them to go and fight where they don't know the terrain, they don't know how many people they are going to fight against, they don't know what weapons they have. You can't do that. Otherwise, you are not coming back. Maybe if you are right and find the guys are weaker than you. So it's the same in the business. You must understand your market dynamics. Now, number 1, you evaluate consumer behavior and preferences. If I am going to, for example, the best example I can give is Uganda has oil now. So it is in the Albertine region. Now, if you are producing a consumable, it's going to be, if you're producing a consumable and you're going to operate in Albertine, you must go there and find out which people are there. Remember, we have foreigners who have come in, probably experts in these machines. Find out, what do they eat? Do they eat the same food as us? What do they drink? Do they drink the same things we drink? You are looking at your consumers. Then also now you look at the locals. What do the locals eat? They may be something they like, but it's not there. So you can only find out if you go. So you analyze and and also you look at their purchasing patterns. Because actually to know what they eat, you look at what they normally buy. these guys spend on what? You get it? Are they spending on warrage because they can't afford beer? Or they just simply like warrage? Are they spending on beans because they can't afford meat? Or they like beans? So when you analyze your consumers, you are like in the market, it gives you, that edge, that advantage that, oh, no, I know. These guys, they have been eating the beans because they were poor, but now there is oil, they have money. I'm starting a butchery there. And you will make money. So identify the market trends, and then you will find opportunities in that discovery of yours. Number 2, assess competition and the market entry barriers. Look for, if you go there, like for example, again, back to Arbatine. Arbatine now is because of the oil, because oil comes with so many, overlapping businesses that are going to, come. There's going to be plastics manufacturing. There's going to be kerosene manufacturing. There's, if the refinery also begins, but the byproducts are so many that you can do many things. Now, if you want to go there and pitch your logistics business as a transporter, you first go there and find out who has already. You can go and you find out who has logged in also, who has put in a bid. You get it? Because if you find it is, I forget the guy's name, there's this gentleman, I think it's from Kenya, I don't know, from Uganda, that the guy has trucks of all sizes. So if you find that is your competition, assess which part of that transportation of logistics are you going to live in, because you may not manage, you may not compete with that person. Or you can say no, instead of also putting in a bid, let me go to this man who has already put in a bid. He gives me a section of what he is going to be transporting. So you run your market, find out my competition is who is there. So now when you run your competition, then automatically your entry barriers, what would stop you from being a competitor, will become automatic. You find either you are competing with the, an international company, so you're not going to manage, or you find that that the competition is already oversaturated. I mean, it might not even be one; it's oversaturated. But you can get a small bit from one of them, one of the people already involved. So, go and assess competition, and then see the entry barriers. What can stop me from participating? But that comes naturally after running the competition. Then also examine the economic and political influences. Economic influences, for example, those are going to be your capacity. Do you have money? Do you have enough resources to invest into the competition? You get it. Now, political ones may it be local. You may reach there and the local people are saying, for example, Uganda, if you are an SME coming from out of Uganda, you are going to have problems with our politics. Why? Here, we insist that 30% of businesses, especially by multinationals, should be for locals. So if you come and as you are as big as Magezi Limited, you may have issues with us because we are not going to allow you. That is business for locals. So that's on the politics. What are some of the rules the government where you are going to operate from? What are some? So you may reach the Arbatine and you find that the RDCs and the CAOs are saying food is for people from here. If you are coming out of the region, come with something much bigger. You get it. So that's part of the politics. So understand the politics, and then your economic capacity as an SME before you come and spend money, and when you are busy cutting the ribbon to open, they are telling you no, you are not supposed to be here. So find out these things early before you put the money. Talk to the stakeholders, talk to the local people, talk to the politicians themselves, and find out what are the do's and the don'ts before you put in any money. Then we have another issue of identifying potential opportunities. As an SME, like I've already said a minute earlier, the opportunities are always there. Always there. even when like our oil sector is still very young. For now, we are looking at the opportunities that we know already that happen into this sector. But realistically, there are even smaller ones there so always explore, go there, go into that big business, and look out for something that somebody has ignored, that somebody is not, so uncover those small segments that people are not paying attention to. Because initially, when a business is beginning, everybody knows certain things, so they come on those ones. They come targeting that. Everybody is pumping money in the same things. I mean, like you see how we do business. A new road opens, and everybody comes, starts a chapat store. So you find the chapat stores are from here up to the end of the road. No one has thought of anything else. Everybody has started a chapat store. And yet you could have instead started something. You're like, okay, there's chapat stalls. Okay, what if I put a juice stall in the middle of all these chapat stalls? You get it? So always look out for a niche. A niche is that small business that people may have not seen, and then you take it upon and be the expert in it. So always be keen-eyed. Don't follow the crowd. Don't do a buffalo kind of arrangement. Look around, say, okay, these guys have one product, all of them. What product normally goes with that one that these guys have not put there? Go there. Number 2, analyze emerging industry trends and innovations. Again, I'm going to give our oil sector as an example. Already, we have oil sectors existing elsewhere, in the Middle East, Nigeria, the United States. For you, instead of right now minding here, try and find out from the existing markets, what can I come up with that these guys do from that side, but here in Uganda, people are not yet. It's going to be one of the last ones for you to come and begin it. I remember this is it's an example. Many people may not like it, but when these funeral people started in Uganda in an organized manner, people were like, how do you start a funeral here? Culturally, it was a taboo. You have what? Started a funeral. You are wishing yourself death. But I can tell you, now there are very many again. So you always find out that very new thing that no one probably fears or doesn't know. You get it? So always make sure you dig up those hidden, parts of the entire structure of the business structure. So the oil sector is going to be very, very big. There are many things there. So always analyze the new technologies. Then another one we have is assess potential partnerships and collaborations. As an SME, it is very true that you're going to have weaknesses. That one is obvious. The weaknesses are going to be either financial or equipment. Those ones are going to be there. That one is obvious. However, partnerships are always there. Those ones are plenty. You are going to find you even when you go online. You can. I think in Uganda. I think I can remember Dax. Dax Courier. I'm told that gentleman was at Makerere delivering letters, by hand. When he started Dax Courier, he went online and got UPS. UPS, United Parcel Services of US, and he became a representative here. That's a partnership. You get it? They are even franchises. Our Kentucky Fried Chicken here is not our company. It's an American company, but it's being operated by Africans here. So you always look out for partnerships. Government normally has resources, but probably has no time to do business. If you can prove yourself as an SME that you are ready to partner and deliver their part of the bargain, they are always ready to work. There are even other organizations who may be, they have the resources, but they are very busy. So if you agree with them, that no, if you invest there, I'm providing the expertise, I'm providing the time and the management, I will be there. You will get partnerships. So always look out for potential partnerships and collaborations, because those opportunities are always there. Those strategic alliances are always there. You always get, those ventures are always there. You make sure you try. I remember I was telling somebody that I read about Uber in a Newsweek. I had a friend who's buying Newsweeks and done those magazines called Time. So I read about Uber in a Newsweek long before it came to Uganda. I even thought about it. I was like, this can be a good one, just owning a car in Uganda. But of course, the idea I left it alone. When I saw Uber in Uganda, I was like, really? I was thinking about this very same thing. It's a few years back, but I lost the opportunity. So always, if you see something interesting, try. You never know, it may come out. Then another thing we need to help SMEs is to learn how to mitigate risks and and challenges. And what are some of those? We have regulatory and the compliance hurdles. Right now, for example, you cannot operate as an SME where you are dealing with government if you are not registered with IFRIS. That's a compliance hurdle. That's because it is required by what? By government. Those are legal and legal requirements that the Uganda government wants. That's number one. And you cannot register for IFRIS if you are not registered with Uganda National Registration Bureau. Then also you cannot go anywhere if you are not paying annual returns. So these are hurdles that you can't run away from, because they are government installed hurdles. Just make sure you do them, because it doesn't hurt. You can even be struggling, but when you are completely legally registered, and then they come saying we need a company to go to attach to the oil sector, but you must be having this, and you find you are the only one there, and then next time you hear the man is driving I don't know what type of vehicle, you are like, this man is a thief. No, he was just ready when the opportunity came. The man was ready. So just make sure you are legally compliant. It's as a person who has tried the business as well, it's an annoying thing, but it is required, because no business person wants to pay taxes. I don't know any businessman who pays taxes while happy. I don't know anyone. Not even Uganda, everywhere in the world. Even when you look at people who support Trump, they want to support him so that he cuts on their taxes. Yet the guys are so rich. Sometimes I wonder where they want to put the money, but they still want tax cuts. So governments put these laws there. Just make sure you are compliant. Another hurdle is managing economic and financial uncertainties. This one is tough. It's tough for many small businesses. Implementing these strategies to mitigate financial risks are very hard. But what you can do, the little money that you have already invested, don't gamble with it. Make sure the money you have goes to the things you must do. Have a way. People tend to say, no, whenever you want money, call me. She or he may not ask for a salary. May be happy working for you. You get it. But you need somebody who can handle the finances away from yourself. Because for you at planning level, now if you are the one home, you will never know when you touch money and when they come looking for money to. So managing the go, you must build that reputation over a long period of time. And then SMEs, normally, you join a circle and then every month you put there also, circle grows. Those ones can help. If you want quick money and you have something that has come up, your container is held somewhere. Some of these circles have grown big. Yes, brand. Now, many people, I hope this should leave our heads. Where we have this tradition. Why are you creating problems? They will come. If you create problems, they will come. No. If you're operating an organization, think about it and say, okay, what if it actually came? What would I do? So have that, crisis, management plan. Of course, you can't have a crisis management plan if you don't simulate those crises. It is okay. Don't say you are wishing yourself bad. No. Just create them in your head. Have a team. You can have a team from all departments. And they say, okay, you as a department head can come to create what kind of challenge. So you prepare. If it means having an overdraft with your bankers, you prepare one. Even in reality, you can use examples from behind. Because which business are you doing that somebody has not done before, or somebody has not corrupted? So you are looking for problems of the organization that were working in the same sector like you, or were producing the same. So mitigating issues is very, very important. Okay, of an organization. One, understanding the business environment. That is the bigger part of understanding this. So here we have regulatory compliance and legal considerations. Now, adhering to regulatory requirements and the understanding the legal considerations is vital, like I added earlier. You must have an SME there. So this information is still what? Important. When I reach South Africa, I must adhere to their regulatory requirements. I must understand their legal considerations. So don't say, this one I think is for Uganda. No. Yeah, I may have $1 million and I think I can operate in an advanced market, like say London. I want to start importing fruits from Uganda to UK at a smaller level, at an SME level, because when I'm in London, really, I'm very tiny. So I must understand what the Londoners require, what are their rules. If I'm taking my fruits, they need to be how. So understanding the regulations of your market is very, very important. Number two, economic and the industry trends. Yeah, this is also talks about in the market where I'm operating. What are their economic policies? What are their economic policies? What are their micro and macro things? But at SME, you deal with micro things. Don't go not at a large scale. You are not affected by the micro parts. The macro also will affect you fine, but not that much. But for you to be on the safe side, you look at the whole economic situation, the economic policies of the country, what for example does Uganda has, because there are certain things that you can't produce in this country. You cannot manufacture bullets. Only the government is allowed to do that. If you are to do, you do them with the government. So you have to look at the economic policies of that country. Then you also look at industry trends. Industry trends is my service about to. It's like now. Let me give an example of industry trends. You cannot right now come and say you want to start planting trees, poles for telephones. That industry is gone. The best you can do is find something better than a mobile phone. So looking at industry trends, what is going forward? What am I engaged in? How long can it survive? It's like now opening a coal mine in the United States. People look at you and say, "Are you mad?" Because the coal is being phased out. So industry trends, meaning you look at your product versus the future. How long can I be trading in this product? So is it worth putting in this amount of money if it's going to be out of fashion in the next 20 years? I mean, it's like now, if you cannot, like today, we have our councils, we have our suites. At our work environment of today, if you make a boutique of busuti, you only see people over the weekend looking to go to the party. But somebody that is going to come buy a busuti to go to office on Monday, hell no, you're not going to find anyone. Because how do you wear a busuti in the office? You can end up falling the whole day. So you look at your product. Is it in the industry? In the industry, it's wanted where? Where is it wanted? You get it. So you look at the industry and say, okay, this product of mine can only be afforded here. It can only work there. Then that gives you they're thinking of how much money to put there and where to set up shop. Then also you look at market analysis and competitive landscape assessment. Of course, that one is always obvious for any business person, small or big. Your market, you have to analyze the market or conduct thorough market analysis all the time before you go to the bank and get money and put it in business. Do a market analysis, please, please, please. Check your competitors, check your, I use this word in English, I don't know what is there. The wantability of your product. First, make sure who needs your product. Are they there? Otherwise, you may find yourself in a shop or in your small industry with the packed things, well branded, and no one wants them. Not even one person. And for you, go and say, they bewitched me, that one I know, my neighbor. Yet, realistically, you didn't look around to see who wants your product. Even a neighbor you are accusing may be the only one who wants to buy from you. So, always do a market analysis of the product you want. You know, one of the reasons we were struggling with the refinery, from what we had the president say, the people with the money, how do you put the refinery in Uganda? You know, it's not business what, but the president said, no, let's have it there. So you see, for them, they had come and done their analysis here. They thought, because the refinery is very expensive, so they thought, since we already have a refinery, isn't it cheaper to transport the oil? You see, if the president had insisted, probably they would have also, wouldn't even be planning for a refinery. Because according to them, it is cheaper to transport and refine from outside than doing from here. So that is what they call analysis. They come here and do the analysis. Then another thing you have to look up is the cultural and social factors. Yeah, I remember I was listening to one of our presenters, I think either this week or last week. Yeah, I was giving an example. How do you go to, Kawempa and start a Poko joint? You really, you first go, you pass by and start somewhere else. Because, the population there is largely Muslim. They are not going to be your customers. So, all the money you put there, paint here, kitchen, nobody is going to come there. And between where you have put it and where your customers are, other people have set on the side, because for them they know that area, the faith there does not deal with this kind of arrangement. So for them they already saw. For you come because you have money, you hit a deal, send a zuku watcher, you start something, and you are there almost looking at yourself every day. You meet yourself. So always make sure you look at the culture and other social factors within the area you want to operate. You realistically, if you don't do that, you're going to make a mistake, and it is going to be bloody for you. And the bank, for them, they want their money. You're not going to tell them that, you see, I went and did something else. No. When you are borrowing, you sign that. And by the way, many of us don't even look at the agreements. You just say, both sign here, you sign. So, in fact, I should take advantage now to advise you, always look at what you have. Put a few small things. Or you be like, I've read the big one, the big part. The small one is embedded somewhere. Toyota has so many cars. Toyota Brevis, Toyota this, Toyota that. But you're saying that Toyota does not name a car before they do the social and cultural analysis. Because they may give a car a name and it reaches Brazil and it means something terrible. So they do global cultural and social analysis. So such that the car does not arrive in China, it means something. It arrives in Uganda, it means something horrible. So they make sure it can fit the whole world without meaning something bad. So you can imagine that's Toyota for you. Yet it's a very, very organized company. Big company. You would think now they don't. They do, because the cost of returning that brand back to the factory is like 10 times more expensive than just finding out. You can call an embassy, like for the Toyota would call an embassy in say Guatemala, say send the people out to see if this name is Varga anywhere in the whole of Guatemala and neighboring countries. Just that. So always look out, check the culture and social factors in the market where you are going to what? You are going to operate. Then we have the human resource management and talent acquisition as part of strengthening an SME, or part of the challenges we face, but also part of what are some of the things you need to deal with, that you have a thriving SME. Recruitment and retention strategies. What's your strategy of recruitment? Are you recruiting people you can pay cheaply? Are you recruiting whoever wants a job? Or you are looking out for somebody who can do for you? Because you may have one staff experienced enough to do work for 3 people. So rather than pay him cheaply, you average, like if they were 3, I would have, at this amount, I would have paid this amount of money. So you say, okay, by half, I would pay 1 person. But the problem with us is, even when you've got an experienced person, you still want to pay him or her the same little money you would have paid each 3 people. Yet you could say, no, if I was going to pay 200,000 per person, 3 people, and it becomes 600,000, let me pay this guy 300,000, and he works alone. Now, for us, we are always looking for anything is cheap. And things, only when I'm cheap, I also produce cheap things. Because I mean, what do you expect? Do you expect the best from the worst? No. So, your strategy for recruitment must be very intentional. Now, if you have already recruited such a nice person, such an expert, then you must have a strategy to retain that person. See, sometimes we think our workers are not human. They are human. The guy annoys you because you are a boss, like I have fired you. And for the next 4 months, you are bringing people who don't know what they are doing, and you are really suffering. Yet you would have told this other gentleman, you go and write an apology letter, because you want to feel like you are a boss, so you don't want the whole conflict to go without doing anything. Okay, sometimes it's also good to make the worker know you are boss. But rather than lose talent, you manage it. You tell him, okay, you write an apology. Deep down in your heart, you know, I can't lose this guy, but you don't tell him that. So you must have a strategy to recruit well, and then when you recruit well, retain. Otherwise, you're in trouble. Then another thing for you is employment motivation and engagement. Now, we are discussing recruitment. If you have already recruited well, what is difficult with motivating your staff? Because many staff, remember, if you have competitors, they are not competing with you only in the market. They are also competing with you in production, produce better products. Now, if they know you have an expert in your team, they are just going to find out how much does Magezi pay this guy. 300,000. What else? Even transport doesn't give. There's no ranch there. Hey, okay. The guy is somebody you don't even know finds you seated somewhere over in your own things. How are you? Where do you are? You start, Kaboze as usual. The guy has been sent by the rival company. After 2 weeks, you meet again. These people are normally intention. Can even chase you for 3 months. Afterwards, like, by the way, the other side, these guys will give you a better pay. They'll give you 400,000, ranch and transport. And you're like, what am I doing here? You run. Now, you as an SME, if you have already gotten such a good staff, please motivate them. And you may not need much. Some of them, when they begin with you, they may want to stay with you. You get it? They may have that attachment. I remember a gentleman who didn't want to leave Sheraton because he loved the Sheraton so much. I'm told some other company gave him even better pay. He didn't want to go. So you have such stuff exists. Another thing is skills development and training programs. Don't always look for only experienced people. Also get those you can train on your own. Get it? You already have dedicated staff. They may be semi-skilled. Skill them. Send them for. You can send them for courses depending on the capacity of the organization, or you can have somebody come in and then train them. So always have your staff, you know, add value to your staff, add experience to your staff. There's a gentleman, a friend of mine, who has a cousin who went to Ministry of Finance as a driver, but he's now a systems engineer because he had the talent to do computers. So in his free time, he would do computing and what. All of a sudden, whenever they had issues in the office, he's repairing the system, software and hardware. Like, but this gentleman, what does this? That's a driver. It's like a driver. What is the driver doing in the vehicles when we have computers there with issues? So what finance did, they changed his department. Over time, they added him courses. He's a systems engineer. Why? Because they could see the talent, they could see the passion. So also, if you, as a private company, if you have a staff whom you can see is determined, he has the morale, please add them skills. Let them, you know. Another thing is to diversify, and they have inclusion initiatives. Implementing these inclusion initiatives fosters inclusive, innovative work. Let the staff feel part of the organization. Let them say, I'm just going to work and they come back. Let the person be there and miss office, miss work. Because when you are there as their boss, you are always, complimenting them. How is home? How is families? Let the people love the workplace. You can even make them love the workplace more than the homes, and you will succeed, because they are the people who are working on your product. They are the people who are delivering your services. They are the people actually your clients know, because most of the clients work with not even you, work with your team. So have the capacity to have your staff feel home. Then we have the aspect of financial management and access to funding as part of strengthening our SMEs. Have an effective cash flow. This brings me back to what I earlier said. Implementing an effective cash flow is a practice that maintains financial stability and maintains the meeting of your requirements. This is why I was saying that always have somebody else in charge of financing, not you. Because for you always spend on many things, including your private things. Home, where the car breaks down, you repair. But if you are carrying office money in your pocket, the car is not going to break down and stay there in the bush. You're going to touch on that money. And at the time you touch it is when a very serious order has come out. So always have somebody dealing with the cash flow of the business away from yourself. Then we also have financial reporting and transparency. Now, that brings me back to what I'm saying. There is no way you're going to have financial reporting and transparency if you are the financial controllers. Whom are you reporting to? Whom are you giving transparency to? So, but when you have somebody else doing the financial bit of it, the financial management, then the system to do reporting and transparency requests comes naturally, because over time you sit with the accountant, probably with your team. They say the marketing manager, the administrative manager. You sit and reconcile each other. Say, okay, you in the market, how much did you spend? You salaries, you adverts. Because somebody controlling money is different from all those line managers. So now you see, you have created a financial reporting and transparency mechanism. You can now look at it and say, okay, who spent what, where, and for what use. So you have already naturally created a reporting mechanism that ensures transparency. Then also have another aspect is securing funding and investment opportunities. As an SME, especially, say for example, in the oil sector, most of the businesses that many SMEs may be looking there are investment opportunities in service provision, not manufacturing, but service provision, mostly logistics, waste management, health insurance. Those are service provision mostly. So, as an SME, always look for investment, because you cannot secure funding if you don't have an investment opportunity. So, but you don't have an investment opportunity, immediately the funding bit comes also naturally. So identify, pursue these investment opportunities, because they are very, very important for your growth. Without them, you are basically registered, and that's it. You are basically a registered entity, and that's it. And many of us, by the way, many SMEs in Uganda, we are that level. We are registered every year. We go and pay annual return, and we don't have what to do yet. Another aspect is cost control and budgeting. Of course, cost control is exactly what we are talking about. What are you doing? Do not put five staff in a position of 2. You're at 3. That's the cost that you shouldn't incur. Don't transport goods without knowing whether the market is ready. You reach there, they drive them back. You have incurred, don't rent an overly expensive place. Actually, one of the biggest problems we have as Ugandans is that when you get funding, you go and rent a lavish office, you buy sofa sets. You haven't even sold one thing. You haven't even signed any contract at all. You find somebody can think this is about Bill Gates' office. Yet you are basically still. So you start small. You have normal chairs, have a laptop. Yes, have normal stuff. But we start from that's basically not being cost effective. You are wasting the money. Actually, what happens is after doing all those expenditures, you finally get the business. Now you are looking for money to do the business. Why? All the money is seated in the chairs. It is seated on the screen on the board. You're like, where did we put all the money? Sir, the money is is here. Here, the way we are sitting. Your chair, the TV, your laptop. The secretary is this. So please, if you have still not gotten what, so implement robust cost control measures and budgeting processes so that you optimize resource and achieve financial objectives. Always, financial objectives should always be at the top of your mind, rather than how people should find you in office. You got these offices of our Indian brothers. They are just basic. But the man has a car of 500 million outside, because the guy has been in business for 25 years. But his office is just basic. But he does luxury elsewhere. At his office, he's just basic. He has a laptop, But for us Ugandans, all the things you have missed, all the chairs you have missed, you want to do them that time. Then another aspect is adapting to technology and digital transformation. Now, this is a hard part for many of us, because it involves so many things. But if you are doing logistics like today, you should know, because CNOOC is going to give you a deal that they want a spare part from Japan. Now, as an SME involved in logistics, you should adapt technology. Why? The moment you buy that spare part that CNOOC needs, you should be able to follow its travel order from Japan up to Hoima. So you must adapt. You're not going to be calling you people in Dubai, you go to this place and read on the documents and see if this is there. No, that one is not going to work. I mean, how are you going to be telling CNOOC where their spare part has reached? But when you have adopted technology, you have real-time movement of that spare. Even the client like CNOOC could be okay. I know it has reached Dubai. I know it is now in Mombasa. Basically you help them plan, because now they can know where the spare they sent for has reached. So technology adoption, that one is basically a must for us. Then adopt innovative technologies. Embracing innovative technologies will enable SMEs to enhance operational efficiency. This is also partly, for example, money. If you have accounting software and budgeting software as an SME, it gives you scenarios on if I put this amount of money and use it this way, this is how I'm going to spend this money. So you adopt these innovative technologies. They have come. Some of them are not expensive. You buy it and put it on your computer, and then you know it helps you to move forward. Also, integrate digital platforms. They facilitate seamless processes and they improve customer experience. I mean, you be online. You get it. Don't wait for your customers to walk up to neighbor to look for you. But if you are online, yes, even if what an example is these food people. We have like Cafe Javas. Cafe Javas cooks in one central place, but when you order online, they bring you the food. Otherwise, you would have been taking a border going to Cafe Javas to look for food. But now you order, and then they bring. So you join these platforms and have your name there, such that your clients can order online, and for you deliver the whatever they are asking for. Then also adapt technological advancements, remaining adaptable technologically. It also enables you to be competitive. If I'm a person whose work limits me to office job the whole day, chances are that I'm likely to sit in office and look for whatever I want online. If you are not there, if your company is not online, honestly, I am not going to find you. So adapt these technological advancements such that your competitors also, wherever you are, wherever they are, you are there. Wherever they are, you are there. Otherwise, if you miss on any of these platforms, for you, you are finished. You are gone. Because no one is going to find you where you are. You get it. So always try and be competitive by also adapting new technologies, so that your competitors don't leave you behind. Actually, competitors are always looking for something new, such that they go there before you do. Then also now, when you adapt these technologies, another issue comes: cyber security, cyber crime. So when you join these technologies, then you must secure yourself. So you must prioritize cyber security, that your data, your company data is not stolen, your company secrets are not stolen, your sensitive information is not tampered with by somebody. Because competition is such that I am always looking for my competitor. What do they have that I don't have? You get it? They are always out there. So you must secure your data. Because we have agreed that you integrate, we have agreed that you adopt, we have agreed that you join all these technologies because they are good for you. Now that creates the issue of vulnerability of data. Your data becomes threatened. So now that's a small cost that you have to incur, whether you like it or not, because you must protect your data, your everything.
Thank you, Mr. Majezi Chirinju. We are still continuing with our topic today about strategy, business and strategy. And let's come back after this short break.
The Kingfisher oil fields development has evolved, reaching some significant milestones after CNOOC Uganda Limited and its joint venture partners signed the final investment decision. Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired and compensation was fully made. Cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed over to the project-affected persons. Construction commenced for different aspects of the project, leading to the development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central processing facility, and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs and installation. Spudding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling outcomes, with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent camp, solar turbine transportation, EPC 3 tank erection work, and EPC 4 pipeline trenching. CNOOC will actively promote the LPG integration plan, which will gradually achieve the strategic transformation towards a green and low-carbon energy supplier. A camp integrated hydropower project has been set up, which will result in carbon dioxide emission reduction by 3,156 tons. CNOOC has continued to contribute to the Belt and Road, people-to-people exchanges, enhancing China-Africa friendship and promoting the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. CNOOC collaborates with various Ugandan universities to enhance graduate employment curriculum design and research. We have signed agreements with several institutions to support scientific research and develop talents in the oil and gas sector. CNOOC, in collaboration with 5 other Chinese companies on the Kingfisher project, spearheaded a drive that led to the donation of $500,000 to upgrade the infrastructure of the Entebbe Welfare School. This is the largest donation to education in Uganda.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sport, I would like to extend my gratitude to CNOOC Uganda Limited and the contractors of Kingfisher oil fields for your commitment to the cause of vulnerable and challenged children.
CNOOC sponsors international scholarships, sending Ugandan students to study in China. Under this program, a total of 11 students have been sponsored and 8 have since graduated and are currently working in the oil and gas industry.
This scholarship to me is a dream come true. I'd always wanted to receive a first-class education from a good school, and CNOOC has provided me with this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
CNOOC focuses on training and certification programs for skills needed in the oil and gas industry, which promotes local employment and strengthens Uganda's logistics and industrial capacity. Over 150 contractors and more than 3,000 individuals have been trained in various oil and gas skills. The company collaborates with local vocational schools to provide welder training, significantly contributing to Uganda's professional welding sector.
They took the initiative to sponsor us who are underdogs, and they want to put us somewhere. We thank them a lot. There's nothing much we can give them, but maybe use the skills properly so that they can also feel they have done some impact in the Uganda we have now.
CNOOC Youth Employment Support Program has trained over 350 local youths in various vocational skills, improving their employability and living conditions. These trainings cover welding, heavy truck driving, heavy machinery operation, engineering construction, and other skills needed in the oil and gas field development, as well as driving, tailoring, and hairdressing, among others. CNOOC invests in projects to improve community living standards, such as providing clean drinking water to over 13,000 residents in Buhuka flats, carrying out medical camps and building resettlement houses with modern amenities for 56 households. We have also invested $620,000 in maintaining critical roads and enhancing public safety. Livelihood restoration programs include donating livestock and teaching scientific breeding methods. We also work closely with the Confucius Institute of Makerere University, supporting events like the Chinese Bridge Competition and the Sound in My Heart Chinese Song Competition. CNOOC also organizes activities to celebrate Chinese culture, such as the Spring Festival. These efforts enrich cultural communication and foster mutual understanding between China and Uganda.
CNOOC Uganda Limited is committed to education and capacity building to fulfill its vision of energy for Uganda.
The Kingfisher oil fields development has evolved, reaching some significant milestones after CNOOC Uganda Limited and its joint venture partners signed the final investment decision. Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired and compensation was fully made. Cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed over to the project-affected persons. Construction commenced for different aspects of the project, leading to the development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central processing facility, and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs and installation. Spudding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling outcomes, with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent camp, solar turbine transportation, EPC 3-tank erection work, and EPC 4 pipeline trenching. CNOOC will actively promote the LPG integration plan, which will gradually achieve the strategic transformation towards a green and low-carbon energy supplier. A camp integrated hydropower project has been set up, which will result in carbon dioxide emission reduction by 3,156 tons. CNOOC has continued to contribute to the Belt and Road, people-to-people exchanges, enhancing China-Africa friendship and promoting the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. CNOOC collaborates with various Ugandan universities to enhance graduate employment curriculum design and research. We have signed agreements with several institutions to support scientific research and develop talents in the oil and gas sector. CNOOC, in collaboration with 5 other Chinese companies on the Kingfisher project, spearheaded a drive that led to the donation of $500,000 to upgrade the infrastructure of the Entebbe Welfare School. This is the largest donation to education in Uganda.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sport, I would like to extend my gratitude to CNOOC Uganda Limited and the contractors of Kingfisher oil fields for your commitment to the cause of vulnerable and challenged children.
CNOOC sponsors international scholarships, sending Ugandan students to study in China. Under this program, a total of 11 students have been sponsored and 8 have since graduated and are currently working in the oil and gas industry.
This scholarship to me is a dream come true. I always wanted to receive a first-class education from a good school, and CNOOC has provided me with this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
CNOOC focuses on training and certification programs for skills needed in the oil and gas industry, which promotes local employment and strengthens Uganda's logistics and industrial capacity. Over 150 contractors and more than 3,000 individuals have been trained in various oil and gas skills. The company collaborates with local vocational schools to provide welder training, significantly contributing to Uganda's professional welding sector.
They took the initiative to sponsor us who are underdogs, and they want to put us somewhere. We thank them a lot. There's nothing much we can give them, but maybe use the skills properly so that they can also feel they have done some impact in the Uganda we have now.
CNOOC Youth Employment Support Program has trained over 350 local youths in various vocational skills, improving their employability and living conditions. These trainings cover welding, heavy truck driving, heavy machinery operation, engineering construction, and other skills needed in the oil and gas field development, as well as driving, tailoring, and hairdressing, among others. CNOOC invests in projects to improve community living standards, such as providing clean drinking water to over 13,000 residents in Buhuka flats, carrying out medical camps and building resettlement houses with modern amenities for 56 households. We have also invested $620,000 in maintaining critical roads and enhancing public safety. Livelihood restoration programs include donating livestock and teaching scientific breeding methods. We also work closely with the Confucius Institute of Makerere University, supporting events like the Chinese Bridge Competition and the Sound in My Heart Chinese Song Competition. CNOOC also organizes activities to celebrate Chinese culture, such as the Spring Festival. These efforts enrich cultural communication and foster mutual understanding between China and Uganda.
CNOOC Uganda Limited is committed to education and capacity building to fulfill its vision of energy for Uganda.
Back from our short break, welcome back to the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Program. We are still continuing with Mr. Magizi. Mr. Magizi was telling us more about strategy and strategic planning, all that And I really know all our viewers out there are really enjoying this session. It's a session that is rich in content. Mr. Magezi is giving you the content that you really need when it comes to planning, when it comes to human resource. How are you supposed to organize and make sure your organization, your SME out there is very good, the way you've organized it, how it operates. That's what Mr. Magezi is trying to tell us. So, Mr. Magezi, you were saying something. I want us to start from where you stopped. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, and welcome back from the break. We had been talking about technology adoption, but now our other area which we have to look at to strengthen our SMEs is strategic planning and adaptability. As an SME, you must have long-term goal setting, and you must have a serious vision, because you're not going to start a business for 5 years, because remember, it may the first 1 year you are struggling, the second year you are struggling. So when you start a business, you are looking at 20 years. So that is strategic planning, that's strategic thinking. You are thinking ahead. You're not thinking for just the next day. You know the journey is going to be tough. So another area where as an SME is to establish long-term goals and have compelling visions with a roadmap, with a way to even to go there. Because when you set up a vision and you set goals, that means you also set how to achieve those goals and expand. Of course, all companies we see, all these big internationals, including Uganda, sometimes I don't even need to leave Uganda. I mean, Rwanda started small, but now the dial is big, the battery, the Uganda battery is big. So, but if you asked him how he started, he told you I didn't think I would even last 10 years. But he said that he will tell you he planned ahead. If the ahead doesn't come, fine, that will be the problem of ahead. But for him as a person, he planned ahead. So as an entrepreneur, you plan ahead. You go ahead and be bold. Give yourself that I will do it. Yes, a big government sometimes they can come, but let not be the one to fear to plan. Because most of the time it is we who fear to plan. Then another thing is to have an agile decision-making process. Agile means I think soft, to be in English, to be soft, to be flexible. Let your decision-making process be flexible. Don't hate ideas. If you get ideas from your staff, please listen, and where you need to change, don't say let's wait for tomorrow. No, because business is time. They say time is money. So the more you delay, the more you wait. I mean, the other client will call another person. I remember I used to supply soap. They call you and they want soap. Normally they call you when they have zero. So if you start telling them at 2 or 3, they just call another person. Why? Because for me as clients, when they call, it is normally you reach there and the jerrycan is empty. Why didn't you tell me yesterday? No, the store person didn't tell anybody. The cleaner thought it was still there. So have a flexible working system. Then also have adapt changing business dynamics. Here you this now it's almost like agility or decision making, but here it is now the general business. Let the business be able to evolve through dynamic and competitive markets. Every time you products are ever evolving, also evolve your process of making your product as well, so that you're not left behind. Then also have a risk management and contingency plan. That's what I think we discussed it even earlier. Always have a risk management and contingency planning mechanism, because if you don't do that, risks are going to come, because every business has risks. They are going to come and find you completely unaware, completely unready. But when you are aware, when awareness creates readiness. So always make sure you are always alert on what you are doing. Then Let's discuss the strategies for improving business analysis in your small, medium, and in small and medium enterprises. Utilizing data-driven approaches. Now, let's look at implementing advanced data analytics. By leveraging advanced data analytics tools, SMEs and SME can, extract valuable insights to enhance their businesses, and then make decisions and make the decision-making process. Now, these analytics, this has come with technology now. We have some tools like Oracle Analytics. We have Domo, IBM Cognos. All these you integrate them in your business, in your decision-making processes. They help you. These analytics help you to, when you put in a possibility or a problem, they will give you all sorts of directions where with the scenarios, they list the scenarios of what could be. Or if you're already having an issue, then they will tell you where you are. So these are very important, technological analytics that can help you. Then also utilize predictive modeling. Predictive modeling, it may be software. It may just be the decision. You sit as leaders and you predict what could happen. So, but in today's world, we have softwares which companies now use to predict if my market is growing at this rate, how big am I going to be in the next 5 years, or what challenges may I face. Then also we have implementing real-time data monitoring. Yeah, as you operate, these are largely technological analysis tools. When you install them in your working processes, like this real-time data monitoring, it is always telling you, if for example, like I'm sure like companies like MTN have them, they always know how much money has passed mobile money today, how much that is in and outflow. Those tools will tell you how many people have registered, have added themselves on the network. That is real-time data monitoring. Then you have even the money they have stolen the other day. Real data monitoring will tell them this one we don't know where it has gone. So you can imagine it helps you to know almost in real time that you have been robbed. So you have reaction time with using these tools. Then another tool is leveraging business intelligence tools. These ones they integrate the powers in the SMEs and largely in operations and the customer behavior. So when you leverage these intelligence tools, they will tell you the customer trends, what are customers thinking, what are they complaining about, or what do they want. These ones are normally used by actually it's international, it's a kind of a complaint these days, that by being on Facebook, you are pressing on certain things. So some companies are stealing your data. They are looking at how you behave. They are by what you click on. So you are likely to be getting some pop-up advertisement on your device because of what you keep pressing. Because now the company, these tools get to know, oh, Magezi likes football, so you start getting adverts of games, kits, or results of what. So it's a bit of an international complaint these days, but you can see the use of these tools, how they affect us who interact with them. Then as an SME also, you also enhance your cross-functional collaboration. Here, implementing cross-functional programs, training programs. You train and facilitate knowledge sharing and skills development. This can come from either related businesses or you bring in experts to help you. Two, utilizing collaborative analysis tools. These also they help you to analyze different departments to collect here in this area, the people in the Department of Finance may be using different tools, people in the marketing may be using different tools, but when you sit as at leadership level and analyze the outcome that comes from the way what these tools are telling you, then you are able to form a position as an organization. The other area is to promote interdepartmental communication. Always have meetings with departmental heads and let the decision you take be agreed upon by each department head, because that decision you take, the one in finance knows how much is going to be released. The one in production knows how much, what is going to be bought. The one in the field knows how much they are going with. So this interdepartmental communication is very, very important. It's actually like how would I call it? It's like the blood. It's like the blood saturating in your body. If you chop off the leg, then the foot won't get blood. So you get all the blood flow in the organization. Then also establish collaborative decision-making processes. You have these departments they question themselves. Let them question themselves, and then give reasons and say why would you question this? They say, for me, my department won't gain from this if you go ahead and implement it. Then also embrace technological advancement. Adopting these innovative business analysis softwares like those ones I've talked about them, they help the company know. They know their depth. They know how. These tools give you efficient analysis, and then it's up to you to, break it down. And they say, okay, I can go with this. I can go with this. Then also we have integrate AI-driven analytical solutions as well. AI has come, especially this one is good for companies dealing in logistics, because logistics is you are probably you are in Tanzania, because now we have a pipeline. It is going to come from Arabatan region and goes to Tanzania. Remember, along this pipeline, there is going to be repairs. I am sure that pipeline has these IT tools that will keep sending signals. I have a weakness here. I have a weakness there. So even these tools do the same work as a company. When you integrate them, they will keep alerting you to certain weaknesses you are facing as an organization. They are for now expensive. Our Juwakari in Uganda are still very far off them, because if I have a garage really, it may be difficult for me to have all these tools for leveraging. All I need, I want a car, but repair it and the car goes away. But again, if you look at modern vehicles, if you bring a because some of these things are software problems. There's something is wrong with the system. But I'm up here, it's a software issue. So even now today, a garage may not avoid them. So please, buy these machines, buy these tools, have them. And leverage crowd-based analysis platforms. Yeah, if you can put your small company on these platforms, where they can tell you where our customers are, they can tell you which businesses can want to compete with you, they can tell you who wants to access your secrets. So you cannot now avoid them. They have come, and you have to adopt them, because if other competitors adopt them before you, you are the one who's playing catch up. Then we also have an issue of fostering culture of continuous improvement. If you are an SME and you are lucky to put money into a project and it catches fire, immediately what you should start doing is to find a way of improving. Don't say, I'm making a lot of money now. No, always know there is going to be a rainy day, so immediately start seeing, where do I improve my business? Because the bigger it is, the better, because when something comes up, it doesn't hurt you. Many of us, when we collapse, we completely go home, completely close and go. But these companies get problems. I was telling you that Toyota can get an issue and they return like a million cars. And because they are returning, say, RAV4s, they are able to survive because they are selling trucks or another brand. So always make sure you are what. So you promote Well, one of these options of encouraging continuous improvement is look for feedback. You encourage feedback-driven analysis. Tell your salespersons to always come back with something from the customer. What is the customer's thinking? Implement regular performance evaluations. This is very, very, very crucial, because if you don't evaluate what you are doing, you can think things are okay, because you are. I mean, there's a proverb that a lizard got burnt on a grass-thatched house because it felt warm. It says, no, things have always been warm. But that day it was fire. It was not the sunshine. So always make sure you whenever hear warmth, don't say, no, it has always been warm. Check there. It could be fire from this grass-thatched house. So as a business, always make sure you are evaluating yourself regularly. You evaluate your data, evaluate your customers, everything. Another thing is empower your employees so that they can use the data that you have collected to make decisions. Sometimes some of the businesses we do, you don't need somebody whom you have sent to Hoima or Sudan. Okay, let me give an example of Sudan, that's far enough. The person has reached Sudan and found that the price which he left with from Kampala has changed. And the man has to call Kampala for you to agree that you change the. I mean, I used to sell fish. You would leave Kampala when the price of a kilo of importer is 6,000. But when you go to the landing site, you spend there a week. You come back, when you have reached somewhere on the road, you call, they say, no, it's now 3,000. Now, what are you going to do to the fish? You can't eat 3 tons of fish. So what you do, you just take it to the factory and you sell it to them. But you also know next time, you will go, when the price at the factory is 3,000, when you come back, it is 8. And you also can't refuse to buy. So we used to balance ourselves like that. That on one day you have a rainy day, on the other day you also return your money. In fact, people who had good financing, they were making a lot of money in fish, because for you with little money, if fish falls by 3,000, you are in a lot of trouble. So encourage people to make decisions, because you have data you have collected as an organization. The person is in Juba, he will say, okay, even if I reduce the price and sell now, I'm better, at least I will have broken even, I'll even go back with some profit. Well, it's not what brought me. But because you empowered them, because of the data you collect as an organization, your staff is able to make a decision that keeps the company running. Also, celebrate success of your analysis-driven initiatives. Yeah, when there is a money made, you can tip the team and say, each one of you, this, and they will work while you're trying to make sure they certainly can they know you are with them. Then another area where I wanted us to look at is prioritization of strategic agility and adaptability. Utilize scenario planning for strategic analysis, like we talked about before. Scenario planning is good for you. Make sure you look through what could happen. It helps you develop the robust and adaptable strategic analysis and dynamic business environment. Also, leverage real-time market feedback. You have gone to the market, pick that feedback in real time, call back to office and tell them this is what is there. 2, embrace agile business analysis methods. Yes, adopt easy to do methods that can help you and move forward. Don't do it that you see, let's wait and see. No. Make sure you have these analyses, these methodologies that, in case of this happens, change immediately. Don't wait. For people who deal in stock exchange, these are very, very important areas of study. In fact, if you are Ugandan SME and you want to deal in the stock exchange, this area is very, very important, because in the stock exchange the prices keep changing all the time. So you have to be thinking very fast as well. Adapting analysis frameworks, changing business landscapes. Yes, be flexible, adjust accordingly, so that you align yourself with the landscape itself. Now, then let's also look at recommendations for enhancing SME development, especially in Uganda. What do I recommend? Now, we have access to financing. We have told it's a bit of a big problem. So where can you rely on now? Where can you put your mind so that you mitigate a few of these things? Microfinance and credit facilities. These microfinance institutions, they improve your chances of getting at least money at a lower price. Government support initiatives. For example, for women, there is a financing called GROW. It is strictly for women. If you are an SME and you are a lady, you go to government, I think Ministry of Gender, it is money for you. Venture capital and angel investors. Venture capital, these are big companies who have extra money. They may want a pattern. Angel investors may be an individual, like Michael here. He has his own money. If you go there with a good idea, he may be willing to put in money. In fact, angel investors are very, very popular in the United States, in Silicon Valley. They are the ones who finance these startups and financial literacy programs. These ones study and educate yourself such that you can lead to better management of resources. Infrastructure and technology. This one we have discussed it, the digital development, the technology adoption. Then we have market access, quality standards and certifications. Make sure your product is certified well. Trade agreements. Make sure you have signed your trade agreements with wherever you are. If it's a foreign country, market information. Make sure you are conversant with your market very well, such that you don't get you are not found wanting in your issues. Then we have skills development and human capital. Make sure you train your staff every time. You bring them and add value to them. Gender equality, be inclusive. Have the ladies, have the men, have the girls, have the boys. Entrepreneurship, education and mentoring. You can bring in people who are already in the field to train you, to share. But as a small company, mentorship is very good, because that one somebody is willing to help you. Is willing to have you. And then also knowledge sharing and industry partnerships. Like I said, those ones you look out for people with money and they are willing to share with you.
Mr. Majezi, thank you for this wonderful lecture. It has been very interesting. People out there are picking something. They're picking something. And I think all this information that you have availed to them will help them have very good businesses, organize their SMEs, so that they can really do business with CNOOC, and they can really do good business in the oil and gas sector. You know, you've talked about points that everyone is interested in. And, you know, when you talked about how organizations are supposed to help their employees be motivated, you talked about tipping. And someone, Ronald here, was promising me that he will tip me. And I was happy about that. That is a very good motivation. Even my production team here will be tipped according to the notes that you have read, because that is good motivation. I have learned it here today, because I never knew that your boss can tip you so that you get energized. So I thank you for that. There is a lot that I have learned, but because of the time, we need to rush in for the next session. I would like to thank people like Gloria Navweteme, Naeva Lehilda, Wanya na Lydia, and very many others that are really following us here. But there is only 2 questions that you have to respond to, then we can go for our short break. Someone was asking a question here that you briefly talk about the analysis mistakes that businesses and analysts often make. Common market analysis mistakes.
Okay, thank you for that question. Some of them are, like one of them could be, you got wrong data. Where you went, you didn't get the correct information. So that can be very, very. Then also another marketing issue that you may mistake. You may not know the industry trends. You didn't know that this product of mine in the next 2 years will be obsolete. So, and you put in a lot of money. Some of them can be needing a lot of money. So those are some of the issues that can come up.
Mr. Mwonge Kasim, I think your question has been responded to. Then we have a question here from Nayevale Hilda. I would like to know if there is a difference between strategic planning and strategy formulation.
The strategic planning, let me say in simple terms, it could be the mother of the other one. Because strategic planning, you are long-term goal settings with how to reach there. Now, for strategic formulation are those approaches you are using within the strategic plan to achieve the goal you are aiming at. So the strategic formulation is a subset involving the approaches you're going to use in the strategic plan.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Majesi. We have Sharifa Navoko here. Sharifa is from Zake Laboratory Supplies. As an SME in science scope, what opportunities there for me in CNOOC? I do science supplies. Who is the right person to get in touch with? Thank you. I think CNOOC is the right agency to go and approach when it comes to that. But for now, I would like to thank you all our viewers who are watching this show from when we started on Monday last week up to today. We still have one more day to go, and we shall be having a coach who will be coaching us here tomorrow in a field that you all need to understand very well tomorrow. So let's go for a short break. We will come back with another interesting topic. Thank you.
The Kingfisher oil fields development has evolved, reaching some significant milestones after CNOOC Uganda Limited and its joint venture partners signed the final investment decision. Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired and compensation was fully made. Cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed over to the project-affected persons. Construction commenced for different aspects of the project, leading to the development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central processing facility, and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs and installation. Spudding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling outcomes, with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent camp, solar turbine transportation, EPC 3-tank erection work, and EPC 4 pipeline trenching. CNOOC will actively promote the LPG integration plan, which will gradually achieve the strategic transformation towards a green and low-carbon energy supplier. A camp integrated hydropower project has been set up, which will result in carbon dioxide emission reduction by 3,156 tons. CNOOC has continued to contribute to the Belt and Road, people-to-people exchanges, enhancing China-Africa friendship and promoting the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. CNOOC collaborates with various Ugandan universities to enhance graduate employment curriculum design and research. We have signed agreements with several institutions to support scientific research and develop talents in the oil and gas sector. CNOOC, in collaboration with 5 other Chinese companies on the Kingfisher project, spearheaded a drive that led to the donation of $500,000 to upgrade the infrastructure of the Entebbe Welfare School. This is the largest donation to education in Uganda.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sport, I would like to extend my gratitude to CNOOC Uganda Limited and the contractors of Kingfisher oil fields for your commitment to the cause of vulnerable and challenged children.
CNOOC sponsors international scholarships, sending Ugandan students to study in China. Under this program, a total of 11 students have been sponsored and 8 have since graduated and are currently working in the oil and gas industry.
This scholarship to me is a dream come true. Dora is wanted to receive a first-class education from a good school, and CNOOC has provided me with this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
CNOOC focuses on training and certification programs for skills needed in the oil and gas industry, which promotes local employment and strengthens Uganda's logistics and industrial capacity. Over 150 contractors and more than 3,000 individuals have been trained in various oil and gas skills. The company collaborates with local vocational schools to provide welder training, significantly contributing to Uganda's professional welding sector.
They took the initiative to sponsor us who are underdogs, and they want to put us somewhere. We thank them a lot. There's nothing much we can give them, but maybe use the skills properly so that they can also feel they have done some impact in the Uganda we have now.
CNOOC Youth Employment Support Program has trained over 350 local youths in various vocational skills, improving their employability and living conditions. These trainings cover welding, heavy truck driving, heavy machinery operation, engineering construction, and other skills needed in the oil and gas field development, as well as driving, tailoring, and hairdressing, among others. CNOOC invests in projects to improve community living standards, such as providing clean drinking water to over 13,000 residents in Buhuka flats, carrying out medical camps and building resettlement houses with modern amenities for 56 households. We have also invested $620,000 in maintaining critical roads and enhancing public safety. Livelihood restoration programs include donating livestock and teaching scientific breeding methods. We also work closely with the Confucius Institute of Makerere University, supporting events like the Chinese Bridge Competition and the Sound in My Heart Chinese Song Competition. CNOOC also organizes activities to celebrate Chinese culture, such as the Spring Festival. These efforts enrich cultural communication and foster mutual understanding between China and Uganda.
CNOOC Uganda Limited is committed to education and capacity building to fulfill its vision of energy for Uganda.
Welcome back to the show. This is the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Program that has been running for now this running it for 2 weeks. This is day 9, no, day 8 of our training. We have been having various coaches, mentors, trainers here trying to teach us about a number of issues, and I'm sure our viewers out there have been learning something. As we end these lectures, like tomorrow, I would like to get feedback from you. We want to know what you have learned. We want to know your takeaway. Your takeaways that you got from these engagements. We really need to know what you have really learned. We need people coming here giving us testimonies that this is what I learned and this is how I have been transformed. This is how our SLP will be transformed, and this is what we really got from the engagement, and we have really learned it. These are some of the things we want to hear from you, because CNOOC Uganda decided to sponsor this because it wanted you to learn, pick something, and make sure that you are very well when it comes to doing business in the oil and gas sector. Right here, we are still with Mr. Magezi Chilinju, and I'm sure we learned something from the previous session about improving business. And right now, here we will be going in for another topic, a very interesting topic about governance, strategy, and performance. And performance when it comes to SMEs and organizations. What do you really know about governance? Governance structures in SMEs. We really also want to know that strategy around that governance. What are you supposed to have when it comes to governance in your SME? Who is supposed to lead? And who is supposed to lead who? So that is what we are going to learn in the next few hours. So in 1 hour, we will be learning that. So I welcome back Mr. Magezi Chilinju, our expert in governance. I will welcome you back from the short break. Let's continue from there about governance. The people are eager to hear from you about governance. What is that governance?
Yeah, I welcome you back from the break. This session we are going to discuss governance and strategy formulation in an SME, and we are going to look at the SME governance structures in Uganda, the strategy formulation in Uganda's SMEs, challenges of implementing strategies. We are going to look at performance management techniques. We are going to look at impact of governance in performance. We're also going to look at improving the strategy, the strategy implementation in our SMEs. Let's look at the overview itself. Normally, ideally, an SME should have like a board of directors or management team, but because ours are still small and still locally kind of grounded, we normally have management teams. We don't have a board of directors, but also you don't need a board of directors of a garage, for example. For what? You just need a management team because your business is really small. You don't need board of directors. Maybe your fellow staff they can act as board of directors. Then we also have need compliance regulatory frameworks. These ones are this is government. You must be well legally registered and operating ethically. Then you are good to go. Then risk management and internal controls. Those one that one we discussed in the earlier session. Make sure you are handling risks and you are controlling your internal leadership, whatever. So strategy formulation. Here we are going to look at market analysis and the business planning. You engage in market analysis, strategic business planning, and identify opportunities, and formulate effective, growth strategies. This is also almost self-explanatory. Look out into the market, analyze it, see is my service required there? No. Is it wanted? Yes. 2, innovation and adaptation. We discussed this as well. Make sure you are always innovating. And I told you, don't read the word innovation and thinking of, Hollywood and Silicon Valley. No, innovation. Innovate your where you work from. You get it. If you have been operating in a place that's not clean, clean it up. If you have been operating without overalls and gumboots, do that, because that's the face of your product. So that's innovation. Partnerships and alliances. Look out for partnerships. They are very important. You may be having something very, very big. Many people without money have serious ideas. So if you may have an idea, look for alliances. You actually, for us, because we still have these old cultural things, you may even look for somebody dealing in the same business. You say, you know what, instead of being competitors, why don't we be partners? So try and see if you can partner with somebody with the same values. Let's look at performance management. Key performance indicators. Always set goals. Set goals, find out what am I supposed to do, what am I supposed to achieve, because those will give you a benchmark on which to rely. If you operate without benchmarks, anything goes. Anything is an achievement. As long as you don't have KPIs, anything is an achievement. Even if you sell one piece of bread, the whole the whole bakery, that's an achievement, because you don't have key performance indicators. So anything will go. So make sure I'm supposed to sell 1,000 loaves of bread for me to have performed. 2, employee development and training. That one we discussed it also in earlier session. Make sure your employees, because everybody, when we arrive at job work, we're not as experienced or as trained as we arrive. But if an employee has shown morale to stay in the organization, if the employee is showing they love the organization, they train them. Many of these international banks, they are led by people who arrived as cracks. But the guy stays there, develops, becomes a tailor, the company the company starts educating that person, because they know the guy is ready to stay. But if you are jumping, the company may not keep you. Quality assurance and customer satisfaction. As an SME, this is one area that is very important. Your quality of what you are doing is what satisfies the customer. And that is what keeps you in business. Without that, you can as well close. Let's look at strategic formulation of SMEs in Uganda. We have importance of strategic formulation. One, identify competitive advantages. When you formulate a strategy, it helps you to identify competitive advantages. Where do you have an advantage in the market? If I was if you go and start a dairy in Mbarara, you are likely to have a disadvantage. Why? The milk is from there. People either everybody has a milk or the locals already started the dairies. So look out when your strategy formulation helps you to identify such weaknesses even before you think of going there. So make sure you do that. Market analysis and positioning. Same thing I'm explaining. When you do a strategic formulation, it helps you to have a market analysis component in that formulation. So it helps you to know early. Risk assessment and mitigation. Definitely. You end up knowing, should I go there? I face the following risks. And how do I deal with them? A, B, C, D. So that's the importance of strategic formulation. It helps you to deal with risk, to understand the risks and start the process of mitigating them. Let's look at strategic challenges in strategic formulation. Limited resources and experts. So strategic formulation has many issues for our SMEs. Like we discussed earlier, we don't have enough money most of the time. Now, on top of lacking money, we don't have the expertise, because I may not be able to tell a risk I'm facing if I invested in the oil sector. Why? Because I'm not an expert in the oil sector. You get it? So we need people who can help us. You need an expert. So that's what I'm saying. Look for a mentor. Look for somebody. By the way, it's only in Uganda, I think, where we do things without consulting our education institutions. You go to Makerere and talk to an economics professor. You take him out and have lunch with him. It's how much? 50,000 him and you 100,000. Instead of going and losing a whole million shillings, take 100,000 and take a professor out. It's like, I want to do this. How do I? Another challenge, adapting to market dynamics. Yes, our markets are changing rapidly, especially today. Especially our Gen Z, and you know they are the majority. You import this phone. By the time it reaches Mombasa here, the taste has changed. You are in Kampala with a shop full of phones. Who's going to buy them? You can't take them back to China. You can't take them back to whatever. Then we also have competitive pressures. There are some other challenges, competitive pressures. We struggle to develop strategies so that we can have effective outcomes. But larger firms and the global competitors take us off. I mean, you can imagine if I started the Rukunjiri fried chicken to compete with the Kentucky fried chicken, I would struggle. Why? Our psyche here has known Kentucky fried chicken, KFC. That's when I say Kentucky, people may not know. KFC. If I started Rukunjiri fried chicken, RFC, I would struggle. Why? Because our psyche has told us KFC is the best in the world. So our strategies, formulating a strategy can be difficult depending on the perceptions in society where you stay. Now let's look at implementation of the formulated strategies. Resource allocation and alignment. Now, successful implementation requires aligning resources. Always make sure. And one of the most amazing things, if you ask the Ugandan to write for you a business plan, they will bring a perfect one. A perfect one. Even a global fund can take it and fund it. But you give them money and tell them to implement it. Zero. The guy meanders and goes into, but you have a good plan. What happened? When the money reached in the pocket, that's when he remembers some girlfriend he left out around a long time ago. That's when he remembers which car he didn't want to buy. But you look at the policy paper, which was very, very perfect. So let's keep within the agreed parameters of our organizational plans. Then we also have organizational buy-in and commitment. This one, I encourage many Ugandans to do it, especially with SMEs which have taken hold. If you have an organization that has taken hold and is strong, and you have employees who have lasted there longer, keep them. I remember one organization where one of the partners, employee, not partner, an employee left. An employee left with half of the clients, because the operational system was that he was the one seeing the clients. Now, I was asking myself, if the owner had simply told this gentleman, buy shares, or I am giving shares in this company for you because of your contribution, he wouldn't have gone with anybody. Monitoring and adaptation. Monitor your strategy, the one you have made. Is it working? What is the feedback? So monitoring helps adaptation. Because when you say monitoring and adaptation, you can think they are different. No. The moment you monitor, it simply kind of fires up the adaptation process. Because when you monitor, you see the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. So you adapt, you change accordingly. So that's those ones complement each other. You have to make sure you are always monitoring what you are doing. Otherwise, you want to know what has happened. You will be shocked, you'll be caught off guard, and there's nothing as bad as being caught off guard in business. So what are some of the challenges in implementing strategies? Let's look at them. Resource constraints, limited financing. That is a very big issue here in Uganda, because the banks lend at a high rate. As one of the presenters told us yesterday, my money is expensive. Why? Because it's a risk, especially in our markets where we don't even have collateral things to put there. They even dug a hole in that place because they knew they will need those ones. Now, if they are not done that, I think Hoima would be full of brown people, Bazungu. Why? Because they are those who are already in the market. Two, another constraint is infrastructure limitations. Yes, we small businesses lack. I mean, if I'm a logistics company, I find myself with one fuso, one truck, and I can't operate. I end up with businesses, and then if my infrastructure is now there's infrastructure which I lack as a person, as an SME, but also there's infrastructure now of at government level. Yes, I managed to even get the trucks anyway. I managed to enforce my company infrastructure, but now the roads are bad. Now they break my vehicles down. So I find myself always on the back foot trying to do catch up. Then also another problem I may face infrastructure wise, if I am I remember there was somebody telling us that Iran gave us a deal to supply goat meat. Supply goats actually, not even goat meat, supply live goats, 5,000 goats per week. And the Minister of Trade just said, just forget about that business. Because he didn't know how many goats we have in Uganda. You could put your signature there, after 1 month you run out of goats. And they're like, but you told us you have what? So we have those issues of infrastructure. Now let's also look at regulatory hurdles. Regulatory hurdles as part of our SME weaknesses, those ones really, they are partly out of ignorance and partly out of sometimes stubbornness. Ignorance, you buy a bid document, say from a company, especially from government. When you are reading at requirements, you hear things you have never heard of. Like, but where do they get this one? You start calling people. It's like, no, this one here you go to URA, this one you go. So that is partly ignorance. Stubbornness. Sometimes you don't want, but also sometimes when you are not running business, you don't realize exactly what you should be doing. Policy instability. Policy instability, that should be at government level. I have just registered a company. They are telling me for me to have business in CNOOC, I must be registered with PPDA. I don't know this, I don't know that. When I have just finished, then you change the rules. And then I am like, really? And you remember every time you change a rule, I have to pay. I don't have money. So Policy instability, that's at government level. Then informal sector competition. This one is, I think, the simplest. You remember Ugandans who were selling in front of shops on Kampala Road. Now, you as KCCA, you want somebody to pay a fee for operating in a shop. However, somebody is in front of my shop on the veranda selling same things. That presents a challenge to my SME. Then also let's look at market dynamics. Limited market information. If you don't know much about your market, you're going to make mistakes. We have supply chain challenges. You know you supply processed posho, but either the weather wasn't good. There is no maize. So you cannot process flour. So these are challenges in the supply chain. Or the rains come and disorganize the road. So the people who bring raw materials can't reach you. So it disorganizes the supply chain. Consumer behavior shifts. That's what we're talking about. Ugandans, I think car dealers are the ones who know this very well. Ugandans, they don't even buy. We don't look at good cars. We look at a number. So if I got an old car and change the number, people are going to buy it. Yet I have one which is new, and I put an old number, no one will buy it. Because for us, our psyche is we buy number plates. That is the problem of our market shifting behavior. Then let's look at also performance management techniques. The techniques you can employ to improve performance. Setting clear objectives is number one. That means you align your goals and expectations. Make sure your goals and expectations are very clear. That shouldn't be an issue to discuss. Number two, make sure your performance indicators are measurable. You can quantify them. You can say, I wanted to sell 2,000 loaves of bread per day. I'm selling 2,200. Now that gives you a measure of what to improve. Continuous improvement focus. Now, when you do the measurable key performance indicator, when you do that, it gives you a chance to find how to continuously improve on your focus. Lastly, regular performance reviews. Keep reviewing your performance because it also helps you now understand. Then, secondly, another area of improving your SME, employee engagement and motivation. Effective communication is very important. Let the staff be part of you. Let them voluntarily come to you and say, boss, you know what? I think that time we were driving from Hoima, we passed somewhere, and the things that were remaining in the vehicle were all bought off. So there is a chance there that the market could be good. So next time you pass there, then skill them. Opportunities for skill development. Skill them, like we discussed earlier. If you bring a mechanic like these garages, and I like the garage because I've seen garages where the person comes knowing nothing. A few years later, the person can even weld the whole engine or repair it. I've learned that you teach your staff. Then recognition and rewards. Mr. Michael had mentioned it earlier. Reward your staff. Don't feel like I pay you. Yeah, yes, you pay us. That's true. But we made the profit, an extra profit as an organization. So on that profit, if you cannot give me something, at least take the whole staff out and lastly, empower your staff. Give them autonomy. Let them think. When a staff can think on their own, they feel empowered. They feel like, oh, okay, you mean I can take a decision and the company takes it? So they feel human beings the way God created us. We also want to be, pampered a bit. So if a company is pampering me by letting me make a decision, and that decision is taken up by the organization, I feel it increases my morale. Data-driven decision making. This will help so much. You know where you are in the big things, in the bigger picture. Where am I with my competitors? Then benchmark and do comparative analysis. You are not in the market alone. Go out there. If it means buying the secrets from the other companies, find out how are they performing. What are their challenges? Find out. When you find out, go home, compare. Where am I having an issue? Where are they outperforming me? Then you solve the problem. Then you also use predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is, as we discussed earlier, is look to the front, look to the future, and say, okay, if I'm selling 300 units today, what if the Uganda's middle class expands? How much am I likely to be selling? The units may go up to 500. So you look at the entire situation. If Ugandans are earning more, I'm also going to sell more. So then look at the data-driven feedback loop. That feedback is very, very crucial. Like we say, because feedback comes from your customers, comes from your workers, comes from trends. All those, combine them, and they will help you understand exactly where you are. Now, as far as training programs and development programs, those ones, like mentorship and coaching opportunities, if an SME can afford, please. Because normally an SME, staffs may be still very few. Make sure you have them mentored and coached. Tailored training initiatives. Yes, I remember somebody who was telling me that Uganda brewery used to send engineers to other breweries like in UK to study certain small components. They're already doing a good job here, but something small that is missing. They send them out. So that's tailored training initiatives. Just that small component of the whole value chain. Go and learn it and come back. E-learning platform now have come. They may not even have to go now very far. I can learn from the factors that doesn't break the chain of production. Evaluate the training impact. Yeah, just know. Okay, the training we have done, what has it achieved? Is it working for us? Do we add it? Do we scale it down? Feedback performance improvement. Yeah, constructive feedback mechanisms. Take advantage of it. Because those ones, they are a lifesaver. They come with the good and bad news. Those ones are a lifesaver. Then learn from mistakes. Like I told you earlier, mistakes are a part of learning. Like I told you earlier that Bill Gates was accused of employing failed executives, and he was like, no, they come with fresh minds because the mistakes they made abroad the other side are not going to be repeated here. So use the mistakes for performance improvement plans. Those ones normally put them as part of your working methods as an organization, so that you always have improvement plans in your setup. Adaptability and flexibility. Make sure you don't have a production line that can't be changed. That your production line, the only way you can change it is completely, overhaul and throw everything out. No, look for things that you can, easily adapt, easily add on, so that you don't get disrupted. Number 5, let's look at the governance on performance in Uganda's SMEs. Importance of governance in an SME. Ethical decision making. Ethical decision making, this creates transparency and accountability, and it fosters trust. If you're an organization, make sure, if you're an organization head, if someone makes a mistake, make sure if you punish them, another person makes a mistake, punish them as well. Let them see that you are not being discriminative, or these ones can be punished, these ones can't be. Let there be transparency, let there be accountability for everybody, including yourself. Punish yourself for making a mistake. Apologize to your staff. That could be since you can't chase yourself, you apologize to the staff. Effective risk management. Proper governance structures. These ones make sure they are part of your structures, such that there are safeguards to the business in case of any potential threats. Enhanced decision making. Clear governance frameworks lead to informed and effective decision making, driving business towards objectives. Let the decision making be swift, but also go through checks and balances. You can have a small team of checking. If you are very many, all of you taking decisions. You can never finish your decision making. You may stay there but let there be a small group that does decision making after gathering all the information from everybody. Improve the stakeholder relationships. This is very, very important. Who are the stakeholders, by the way? Your bankers, your clients, your suppliers, your mechanics, your drivers. These are your stakeholders. If you mess up with that driver, the guy will. There is a gentleman was telling me that tours and travel companies have stopped buying vehicles. They come to Magezi and say, Magezi, I have tourists, take them to Bwindi. Why? When you have an issue with your driver as a company, he reaches Mbarara and says the car has mechanical issues. How you know the guy is carrying the Europeans? You cannot say wait tomorrow. No. So you send the guy money. You send the guy money immediately because you don't want to have issues. Then we also have strategy formulation and implementation. Here, you adapt market dynamics, you monitor and evaluate your mechanisms whether they are working very well. You align with organizational goals, make sure your goals are aligned. Resource optimization, don't waste money, like I told you earlier. Don't find your raw materials are there wasted. Find them, store whatever you have not used well that you can use tomorrow. Then for performance management practices, then you have KPIs, use those. They help you to see how you are doing. Employee performance appraisals, regularly look at how your employees are working, how they are operating. Feedback and recognition of systems, adaptive performance strategies. Use all those tools to improve your SME. Enhance operational efficiency. Here you can use process optimization. Make sure whatever you use is utilized very well. Integrate technology such that you have efficiency where human beings may be slow. Supply chain management. Make sure you have effective management of your supply chain. Nothing is missing because that costs you money. Have a lean management. Don't create a very huge book of principles to follow. Just make sure you have few that can help you instead of having a whole constitution. Innovation and adaptation. Market research analysis. That one we have discussed it at least for the last 1 hour. It's repetitive because it's important. Agile business models. Yeah. Also look out for models of doing business that are flexible for you, not very, very hard to deal with. Product service diversification. When you feel that your product may not be in the market in the next 5 years, start thinking now, such that you are able to change. Let's look at improving strategy of implementation of SMEs. Enhance leadership involvement, empower leaders. Like I said, let the people in the field take decisions as long as they don't then have an effective communication channel in the organization. Build supportive leadership structure. Let you be approachable. Encourage employee engagement. Don't go in the meeting and shut them down. Let them talk. Let them aligning resource capabilities. Optimize resource allocation. Yeah, use the money where it's due. Develop relevant capabilities such that the organization effectively implements its chosen targets. Leverage technologies, like I said, make sure the technology comes in to help you, not again to be a money sack. You are paying a service for a technology that is of zero help to you. Continuous capability assessment, always follow what you are doing. How capable is it of use to you? Then we have enhancement of performance measurement. You can use established KPIs, like I said earlier. Implement regular performance reviews, very, very important. Utilize data analytics. I told you earlier, some of them you can buy them. These softwares, you can put them in your systems. As long as you punch in the information you want, it will tell you how you are performing. So you leverage them. Then we create culture of accountability. That one is very important for us here who are not yet techno-savvy, who are still operating at our Juakari level. Just make sure the people you work with, they know that you cannot tolerate this. You can't tolerate that. Because that one you can enforce. Then adapting to market dynamics. That is research and analysis that we have also discussed. Customer-centered approach. Customer is king. in everything we are told. So make sure you are always, the customer never talks bad about you, because the customer can spread the rumor or the truth and you don't recover. So don't annoy a customer. Competitive positioning strategies. Always make sure you put yourself as one of the best. Cultivating a learning organization. Promote continuous learning at your workplace. Please, please, please. Invest in employee development. There is nothing like good like a satisfied employee. They will even bring other things you don't know where they are bringing them from. Make sure you invest in your employees. Knowledge sharing initiatives. If you can find where to embrace them. Embrace change and innovation all the time. That has been our discussion on SME governance structures, strategy formulation, and performance management for this last 1 hour. I remain Magezi Chirinju, your presenter today.
I thank you all for being here with us. You have been following this presentation, and I am very sure you have learned quite a number of things, and especially when it comes to governance. For example, Mr. Chirinju has talked about, when he was talking about the governance structure, he talked about the importance of accountability. When it comes to accountability, accountability is key. He talked about transparency. He talked about formalization. Formalize the structure of governance. Be transparent enough in your governance structure, and make sure that there is accountability for whatever is being done by the governance team. Then he talked about the structured roles and responsibilities. He said that all these roles and responsibilities attract investors and boost stakeholder confidence. If you are very structured and you know everyone knows their role, this can really help an organization to move on very well. When it comes to governance, everyone knows what they're supposed to do, from top to bottom, bottom to top. Everyone knows their responsibilities, everyone knows their roles, that every morning when I wake up, this is what I'm supposed to do, and this is what I am meant to do today. You wake up when you really know what you're supposed to do for the whole day, all the hours that you'll be at work. That was about governance structures, and he talked about strategy formulation. And here he talked about aligning strategic goals with actionable and realistic plans. Talking about realistic plans, you know, as an SME, you must have plans that are realistic, not plans that you just think of, that you have in your head and you're like, I wish. Eh? You don't have to be in that position where you're just thinking of things that cannot happen. Think about things that can really happen. That's why he was talking about the actionable and realistic plans when it comes to strategy formulation. And then he was talking about the tools that do analysis to address market opportunities and risks. Yeah, market opportunities and risks. As in governance, you have to know that, yes, how am I supposed to do this? Which tools am I supposed to use to make sure that I'm addressing a certain market? So getting that market opportunity, you must have certain tools that you'll be having when it comes to strategy formulation. For performance management, Mr. Magezi talked about performance management, and here when he talked about performance management, he was talking about setting and monitoring KPIs to track the progress. You know, you have to set and monitor KPIs. Which KPIs do you have? Which KPIs do you have as a company, as an SME? You have to set KPIs that this is what the employees are supposed to do every day, so that everyone knows their KPIs, that every time I wake up in the morning, this is what I will start with, and here is what I will do
this is what I will do here, this is what I'm going to start with. So he talks about the KPIs, and he also talks about regular evaluations. Regular evaluations enable adjustments for improved outcomes. How do you evaluate yourself? Because as leaders, as managers of an SME, how are you adjusting? Like, for example, let's talk about market. There is a company that is doing this and it has upgraded. Can you remain down here without upgrading it? Very many other SMEs around you that you're doing business with that are also competing with you are upgrading. So, the performance management is something that is very vital. Then some of the takeaways that I got from this are like performance governance, like formal governance structures are very good when it comes to SME growth. When you have a very good formal governance structure, your SME can grow up and it can do good business. Also, realistic, locally informed strategies are essential. You have to have these locally informed strategies. Have a strategy that will work. Don't just copy a strategy that you can't manage. Like, for example, you are here in Uganda and you want to use a strategy being used by Elon Musk. You're like, yeah, I have started up my application and I want everyone to pay for it. If you want to access it, pay this money for it. Yeah? Like the way we use these transport apps like Uber or what, and someone says, just accessing the app you have to pay. So we have to use locally made applications here for you to have your SME move on and get good business. Performance, he also said that performance tracking drives consistent growth and adaptability. Performance tracking, how do you track your performance? He has been talking about tracking performance. You have to know how to track your performance, like know your reach. You have to know your reach. How many customers do I reach? How many people do I reach? How many agencies am I working with? And what the services I'm having, are they really good for these people? So that's what mainly Majezi has been trying to elaborate about. But uh, briefly, there are some few questions here that Mr. Majezi will answer. Mr. Majezi, you were talking about the KPIs. Like, for example, let's talk about a local SME down there, and this local SME just does cleaning and fumigation. What do you think are supposed to be their KPIs?
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question. Normally, when you're looking at such a cleaning company, you look at how much am I investing in this cleaning process? How much am I earning from it? Am I renting? So my KPI should be that every time I am paid for the work, there should be a profit. It should be above my costs. Short of that, I am collapsing. If I don't make, you must, because it must be like my money returns, my KPI will be my investment returns, my costs are paid, then I remain with something. That should be my KPI. Because that means then I can expand. Short of that, I may stay small as I am. That should be my KPI. Because that KPI will help me to know whether to now look for the second client, the third client.
And Wanyana Lydia here is trying to ask that please talk about an exit strategy in case the business is not kicking off.
An exit strategy?
In case the business is not kicking off, what strategy can you really come up with? Like, for example, you've been in business for quite some time, the business is not kicking off. Like, as an expert, how do you advise this person? Changing product, reaching out to to new clients?
Now that that can depend on what exactly happened, because you could have brought a bad product, you could be having a super product in a wrong market, you could be suffering from both bad product, bad market. So the exit, and I don't, maybe she's asking about the exiting strategy. The exiting strategy can be very, I don't think there is any good news of exiting such a market, because I mean, if you would want to sell some of the things such that you return some little money, but you're already in a bad market and a bad product. So the exiting strategy can be very, very not good, and that's why normally banks normally come and close us, and because you are, in fact, most of the time we make things worse because you are confused. You have your money in the business. You don't want to just close it. Normally, the Americans are solve it better with their proverb. If you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. For us, normally we dig more. So by the time actually we normally collapse naturally, because we keep digging ourselves into debt until we cannot handle anymore. So the exiting strategy really is a bit tough, but if there are certain things you can sell off, please sell them off and close. If you can change, if you still have someone and change the business and retain the production process, very, very good. You are lucky then.
Okay, that's very, very, very important. And we talked about, there is something that you talked about, it is a continuous capability assessment. It was about evaluating and improving the organization's capability to align the evolving strategic requirements. Maybe just expound more on that, because someone wants to understand it very well.
A continuous assessment of your capabilities, it means you look at, first of all, your own staff. Do you have the right staff? Are you getting the right raw materials if you're in production? If you are in logistics, are you having the right trucks? Are you having the right drivers? Okay, those are some of the things. Then also, are you improving your financial good name? Are you now marketable in the banks? You get it. So those are the capabilities you keep looking out to. You keep assessing yourself. If the bank was willing to give me 100 million, have I reached where they can give me 200, or I have even dropped to 50? So those are some of the capabilities you keep continuously assessing of yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Majezi Chirinju, for those insights. I think we have at least picked something. We have learned quite a lot today when it comes to strategy, when it comes to governance. The SM is out there. I think this is very important information that you really need to learn and understand very well. It is the reason as why this training was organized. Our videos are remaining on this YouTube. For those that have not had time to watch and learn, you can still go and watch these videos. The videos will be there. You can download these trainings and really learn, listen, and view and see. Pick out a few points that can really help you learn what we have been doing here. Remember, it is the CNOOC Online Enterprise Development Program, and we started last week. This is our second week, and I am sure quite a number out there has learned good lessons from these engagements. Tomorrow we shall be continuing, and we shall be having a very interesting topic. Just follow us here. You will see what we will be having tomorrow, even online on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter or X. You will see what we will be having tomorrow, starting at 9 up to midday. I thank you for watching us. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
The Kingfisher oil fields development has evolved, reaching some significant milestones after CNOOC Uganda Limited and its joint venture partners signed the final investment decision, Land for the construction of different facilities was acquired and compensation was fully made. Cash and in-kind compensation, like resettlement houses for all families, were built and handed over to the project-affected persons. Construction commenced for different aspects of the project, leading to the development of facilities such as the camps, well pads, the central processing facility, and feeder lines, followed by the delivery of the rigs and installation. Spudding was done in January 2023. There have been promising drilling outcomes, with 7 wells drilled in pads 2 and 3. Drilling operations, coring and on-site works are continuing, achieving total footage of approximately 23,000 meters. Other noticeable activities include a base station and permanent camp, solar turbine transportation, EPC 3-tank erection work, and EPC 4 pipeline trenching. CNOOC will actively promote the LPG integration plan, which will gradually achieve the strategic transformation towards a green and low-carbon energy supplier. A camp integrated hydropower project has been set up, which will result in carbon dioxide emission reduction by 3,156 tons. CNOOC has continued to contribute to the Belt and Road, people-to-people exchanges, enhancing China-Africa friendship and promoting the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. CNOOC collaborates with various Ugandan universities to enhance graduate employment curriculum design and research. We have signed agreements with several institutions to support scientific research and develop talents in the oil and gas sector. CNOOC, in collaboration with 5 other Chinese companies on the Kingfisher project, spearheaded a drive that led to the donation of $500,000 to upgrade the infrastructure of the Entebbe Welfare School. This is the largest donation to education in Uganda.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Sport, I would like to extend my gratitude to CNOOC Uganda Limited and the contractors of Kingfisher oil fields for your commitment to the cause of vulnerable and challenged children.
CNOOC sponsors international scholarships, sending Ugandan students to study in China. Under this program, a total of 11 students have been sponsored and 8 have since graduated and are currently working in the oil and gas industry.
This scholarship to me is a dream come true. I always wanted to receive a first-class education from a good school, and CNOOC has provided me with this opportunity, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
CNOOC focuses on training and certification programs for skills needed in the oil and gas industry, which promotes local employment and strengthens Uganda's logistics and industrial capacity. Over 150 contractors and more than 3,000 individuals have been trained in various oil and gas skills. The company collaborates with local vocational schools to provide welder training, significantly contributing to Uganda's professional welding sector.
They took the initiative to sponsor us who are underdogs, and they want to put us somewhere. We thank them a lot. There's nothing much you can give them, but maybe use the skills properly so that they can also feel they have done some impact in the Uganda we have now.
CNOOC Youth Employment Support Program has trained over 350 local youths in various vocational skills, improving their employability and living conditions. These trainings cover welding, heavy truck driving, heavy machinery operation, engineering construction, and other skills needed in the oil and gas field development, as well as driving, tailoring, and hairdressing, among others. CNOOC invests in projects to improve community living standards, such as providing clean drinking water to over 13,000 residents in Buhuka flats, carrying out medical camps and building resettlement houses with modern amenities for 56 households. We have also invested $620,000 in maintaining critical roads and enhancing public safety. Livelihood restoration programs include donating livestock and teaching scientific breeding methods. We also work closely with the Confucius Institute of Makerere University, supporting events like the Chinese Bridge Competition and the Sound in My Heart Chinese Song Competition. CNOOC also organizes activities to celebrate Chinese culture, such as the Spring Festival. These efforts enrich cultural communication and foster mutual understanding between China and Uganda.
CNOOC Uganda Limited is committed to education and capacity building to fulfill its vision of energy for Uganda.